Hello and welcome back to my orchid life. I appreciate you coming over for another visit. If this is your repeat time, if this is your first time, welcome. I appreciate you. I'd just like to say thank you to all those who have subscribed so far. If this video ends up giving you some value and you end up enjoying it, go ahead and give it a like. I appreciate that. And leave some comments down below and let me know what you think of my little experiment I have going on here. So what is in here is a Phalaenopsis, and she still has her blooms. She's dropped one, but the rest of them are holding on rather well. They're not quite going over yet. I got her back in July and put her in this setup on the 5th. And what this is just the large perlite that you get in the mix, the large orchid mix that usually you can get in the nurseries. I put her in here to see if she would survive, basically, to see if a more airy environment. Something I have learned from this experiment is this perlite stays wet for a very, very long time. And because it's so light, the orchid is heavier, so she was tending to lean out of the pot. So what I did is I put some rocks at the bottom, and there is very, very little water in there. The wickers, this string that wicks the water doesn't quite touch the water that's in there. The water that's in there is more for humidity. So what I've been doing is once I put water in here, probably within 20 minutes, this is nice and wet, and then I just dump it. This large perlite, I thought it was pumice, but it's perlite, it's not pumice. This large perlite stays wet for a good 4 to 5 days. Then I just leave it dry for about 2 days, and then I'll add water back in, and that's what I've been doing. I was going to add some moss to encourage roots, but then I was going to wait. So she has started growing this new leaf here. Her existing leaves are still very, very firm. And like I said, she's still holding on to her spike, so she's not suffering there. I do have the fiskars because I'm going to take her out of the pot, kind of like what we did with the one that is in LECA, to kind of see what's going on with the roots. And this way, if I need to clean up any of the roots, I can. I'll repot her off camera. I won't bore you guys with that part. But I don't think that I'm going to need to squeeze the pot at all, because I don't see any roots actually attached to the pot. So, and I'm just going to leave the spike on here. I'm not, like I said, I just kind of want to see what's going on. And another reason I don't want to squeeze the pot is I don't want to break the perlite that's in here, because I am just going to reuse it. So, okay, well, that's not too bad then. So as you can see, she has a nice root system in there, and they are kind of dry, but it's, when I touch them, there is still some moisture on them, so they're not completely dry. As you can see, this one here, because the perlite itself is dry, it's been dry for probably about a day now. I don't see any root tips growing. Oh, nope, I thought I saw one, but I don't see any root tips growing, but I don't see any desiccated roots that need to be cut off either. So far this is doing rather well, actually. I don't know how long I'm going to keep her in here. My plan is to try to keep her in here until next growing season starts, because we are going into winter. Oh, I hate saying that word, winter. I like the fall. Fall to me and spring are the two best times of the year, because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's like a very comfortable time of year. You can open your windows and still be comfortable in your home. Summertime tends to get a little warm. Of course, I enjoy the warmth, but I know there's a lot of people who don't. And I'm just kind of checking here. Now, I do feel one root here that is squishy, but the bottom is still nice and firm. And I'm just going to peel back that velamen and see if that root is still green. And if it is, I'll probably just leave her alone. I won't cut the root. Let me just look real quick. Show you guys real quick. So, because the root itself, guys, is the string inside. The outer coating is called a velamen, which protects the root. And this root, it's kind of more on the yellow. And I know you really can't see that up against my finger, but it's more yellow than it is green. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this root off, because it is a branched root from one of her other roots. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, just because the root itself is dying off. And then this way, that'll just prevent any further mess in there. But with this being so large, it drains rather well. I have seen some velamen come out, but apparently not enough to do any damage, and I don't see any strings, so she's releasing those. For, let's see, about 6 weeks, because this is the end of August. It is the 26th of August, so she's been in this setup approximately 6 weeks. She's not doing too bad. She still has her flowers and she's working on a new leaf, but I don't see any root tips growing in here, but she has enough roots to sustain her. That is the update on her. I will probably do another video, let's say maybe October, November. Let's give her a few months to kind of be settled in, and this way it gives me an opportunity to get some more of this just in case I need to add more in, because like I said, it's very fragile. It breaks down, it cracks real easily, and I know that from using it when I'm repotting my larger orchids. And at that time we'll decide whether we leave her in the larger perlite or if we're just going to go ahead and repot her into a bark mix, because we've had the experiment long enough. Like I said, I'd like to do this for an entire year. So if you guys want to continue monitoring her in this large perlite until at least the beginning of next growing season, or July of next year, which is kind of in the middle, leave that in the comments down below and we'll go ahead and do that. Otherwise, have a great rest of the day. Again, enjoy your company. Leave any comments. I do enjoy answering those and reading them. Until the next one, I hope you have a great day.